Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Free-to-Play Cast, episode 43, brought to you by MMOBomb.com, your home for all things free-to-play related. I'm magicman, your host for this evening, this afternoon, whenever the hell this gets posted. My friends are on the lines. We want to talk about some games, get to your feedback and your questions, so let's get right to it. Back again. She's just had dinner. It's Kaylin. How are you?
I hate you.
What did you have for dinner, Kaylin?
I had nothing. None of your business.
You don't want to share?
I had the internet's dream.
That was a pork chop wrapped in bacon, huh? That was
Bacon
delicious.
makes everything. You know, now, not only do people think, like, I sound like a man, but now they're going to think I weigh, like, 800 pounds and feed my face with bacon all day.
Oh, I can vouch that you neither sound like a man and that you do not, in fact, weigh 800 pounds. But
No, thank God.
But you do eat pork chops wrapped in bacon.
It's the first time I've ever done it.
Was it delicious?
It was amazing.
All right. And on the line with his mouth watering now, Brim, how are you, sir?
Oh, bacon. It's delicious.
Bacon.
Bacon.
I, however, do not sound like a man, and I do, in fact, weigh 800 pounds.
Oh.
The hosts are in rare form tonight, gang, so let's just slide right over to the news and get this train wreck started.
What is sleep?
Alright, so first off, there was a bit of odd breaking news this week out of Visceral Games or EA's camp, and there was something really, really odd with EA, but we'll talk about that later. We got kind of word through back alleys of the team at Visceral, the team behind Dead Space series, maybe doing something of a MOBA, maybe looking at free-to-play. There were a couple posts on their website for different job openings. One specifically required a, quote, unhealthy passion for MOBA games. They were also looking for artists with and map designers with deep knowledge of multiplayer gaming. And there were also references to the job having to work with the Play for Free's third-party operations. And, of course, that's the free-to-play arm of Electronic Arts. So what do you think's going on at Visceral here, Brim? I mean, we're all fans of Dead Space, right? I freaking love Dead Space.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So what do you think's going on here? Is Visceral actually going to make a MOBA? If they, I mean, it sounds like they are. I mean, do you have to have an unhealthy passion for MOBA? Do we think maybe this could be in the Dead Space universe? Is it going to be something different? Obviously, we're just guessing and speculating, but what would you like to see out of these guys?
No MOBAs.
You're definitely against the MOBA, huh?
Yes, God, go away.
Oh, come on. You love MOBAs.
Ugh.
They're your favorite. I know you don't like League of Legends, but you're a real fan of just about everything else.
Yeah.
As long as it's not League of Legends, you're okay.
I don't know. I really do need to try a different MOBA sometime. League of Legends hurt.
Okay, what if it was a MOBA set in the Dead Space universe? Would you check it out? I'll
try it, yeah.
Okay, so Visceral Games, then, everything that they've done that you know of, what would you like to see? Scrap a MOBA, and let's assume that they're just saying you have to have an unhealthy passion for MOBA just for the hell of it. What would you like to see? I mean, is Dead Space something you would want to see as an MMO? Or do you think maybe that would kind of ruin that universe?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see as a MMO.
That'd be a hard storyline to continue, though, wouldn't it, Kaylin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it would be very difficult for them to really do much more with it.
So what do you want to see?
I'm going to to go with Brim here. Not a MOBA. Please, for the love of God, not another MOBA.
I think it's funny that, even on our own site, you go to other sites and look at the forums, but if you look at the comments on even our own site, it's, oh, please God, not another MOBA. And it's, people love them, but even the people that love them, I think, are to the point where it's just like, yeah, okay, there's 3 that we love playing, everything else we don't even want to play. Please don't do it. Oh, and by the way, it's EA. Shoot me now as far as having to pay for things in a free-to-play game.
Right.
I mean, there's just general negativity about what this whole project could be. That can't be a good way to start, Brim.
No, not at all. Not when you've already got people saying, oh, I love Dead Space, but EA, come on.
Right? They're like, hey, how about you just make another Dead Space? And
right.
I'll go ahead and I'll give you $60 for that.
Right.
And we'll call it a day.
Yep.
Kaylin, were you a Dead Space girl? I know you're a shooter girl, but did the series catch you in general?
I was in and out of gaming through that. I did like it, but it wasn't anything I ever really devoted a lot of time to.
Wow.
I know.
You just lost points on the magicman rep meter.
I know.
That's going to cost you a couple extra dailies to gain that back.
Like, don't do enough already?
Can you tell what game we've been playing lately?
A dirty word.
It is a dirty word. I'm only playing it so that I can speak intelligently about it. I hate dailies. Oh, shoot me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see a MOBA. I especially don't want to see something out of Visceral that EA turns into a pay-to-win scenario, because I do like Visceral's products an awful lot, and that seems to be the general consensus. There's some people that are, oh, okay, I'll try a MOBA in the Dead Space universe. We don't even know if that's the case, right? We don't even know if it's going to be that particular universe. Could be something totally new. But the consensus seems to be, please stop with the MOBAs and do something else. I don't know. I would kind of dig an MMO set in the Dead Space universe. I mean, for a long time, people have been clamoring for one in the StarCraft universe, right, Brim?
Oh yeah, that's been a subject to talk for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, there's even that whole community project that's been going on for a long time now. Yeah, I don't know. I would play an MMO before I would play a MOBA. In general, I'm going to give the whole story a thumbs down just because it has the word MOBA in it right now. I agree with most of the viewers that there's the big dogs in MOBA, your League of Legends, your Dota. I'd even throw Heroes of Newerth in there for some because they really like that. I think Smite kind of made a little niche for itself, Kaylin, just by doing the whole third-person camera mode instead of isometric.
I liked Smite.
I enjoy Smite, too. It's probably the MOBA I enjoy playing the most, even though I'm awful at it. But those are the big dogs, and we really haven't seen anything that anybody wants to play besides those. So I just think EA would probably be throwing money into something that isn't going to turn out to be the cash cow that EA makes sure all of its games must be before they kill them. I'm going to give it a thumbs down. What about you, Brim?
Thumbs down if it's a MOBA. Who knows? Maybe they'll blow us out of the water. Probably not, but who knows?
Kaylin?
I'm with you guys on this one. Thumbs down if it's a MOBA.
Well, that was easy. I'm intrigued.
We're all in agreement for once.
Yeah, for once. Brim and I aren't at each other's throats over something. We still have 2 stories left, though. All right, next story. Aion, however you prefer it. NCSoft. So patch 3.5 went live about 5 days ago as of this recording. Now, we're not really going to talk too in-depth about the game. We've talked about Aion before. Everybody out there that's listened to previous shows knows that I'm a huge fan. I subbed to this game when it was sub-based. I still play it now that it's free to play. Nothing like an Asmodean. If you're Ilios, there's something wrong with you. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to get ganked now. Probably by Brim. But so I'm just in general a big fan of it, especially the North American model that NCSoft has with the truly free-to-play. But there's a couple things in the expansion that I want to go through and get your two opinions on. One, Tiamat Stronghold, new content, most challenging to date, only available to the Devas who've truly earned it, a.k.a. level capped and gear ready. Tiamat's defeats the final chapter in the whole game-spanning Dragon Lord saga that's gone since the game came out 3 years ago. And then they're going to kick off the next chapter of the game. So that's cool, right? We don't have really anything positive or negative to say about that. New content's new content, new fights are, yes, we want that stuff, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll skip that. Here's the one that I want to get your opinion on, though. There's a new fast track server. So if you're brand new to Aion Ascension, you can now easily catch up to your friends thanks to the fast track server, which will allow players to level up twice as fast before making the switch to a regular server to tackle the challenging endgame content. And we've seen something similar with Alids do this. They opened up a new server, and if you come to that server as a new character, there's an experience rate increase. And generally, they put one throughout the whole game, but they originally started this with just the one server. What do you guys think of this? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan? Is this rewarding new players while saying, middle finger, screw you to their long-time players? I've got a couple thoughts, but I don't really know where I fall on this one. So let's hear where you have to say, Kaylin.
I just don't know. Like, part of me is like, wow, that's really cool. If I'm new to the game, then, I don't have to sit there like I have in how many other games in the past and grind, Guild Wars 2, hello, and try to grind and catch up with my friends who are already playing. Yeah, that's great. But on the other hand, as someone who's played numerous games and ground out to max level, I don't want a bunch of new people coming and doing it twice as fast and knowing half as much when they get there.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. You don't really learn the ins and outs of your character to the extent that you do. And Aeon's one of those, kind of like World of Warcraft, where your hotbars can have 30-some things in it by the time you're max level. Hell, even before max level with the way you get abilities there. What about you, Brim?
I hate it.
Ooh. Why?
I think it's a terrible idea. I got to go with the fact that you got to pay your dues in any game. I really hate nerfing experience. I hate nerfing bosses. You know that. I think that everybody should play the game how it should be played. And these servers, my question is, do they know that you're a new player? Or is this just going to fill up with new and old players who are leveling alts?
Right, and that was one of the things I originally started thinking about was, okay, I mean, we're all three of us generally like the whole effective level thing that Guild Wars 2 does, or if you look at Final Fantasy 11, they had the whole level sync process. So that a higher level character could go play with their low level character friends, and both were being, benefiting from playing together in some way, whether it was experience or whatever. So we're all generally in favor of that type of system, right? I mean, I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Kaylin, you sound like you're kind of in the air about this one. It's got pros and cons for you. Brim, you just flat out hate it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions about this, and I wasn't really able to find too many answers here. One, I like the idea from a new player standpoint, right? Because I'm gonna level a lot faster. But at some point, you are going to have to actually switch servers. I mean, this is directly the way it's described as before making the switch to a regular server to tackle the challenging endgame content. So to me, that sounds like there is definitely some type of entry restriction, Brim. I don't think you could roll another character on an existing account. I think you would have to create a whole new account, which is, again, no big deal. It's a free-to-play game, so now you can power level alts.
Right.
And that's why that's where they kind of lose me. Because if you're able to do that, then it should just be make all servers do this, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this specialized server. If it's as easy as me making a fake email, making a new account, and leveling some alts on a separate account and taking advantage of the fast track server with no penalty, no cost or anything, there's no barrier to it at all besides taking 5 minutes to make up another email address, then stop. Don't make it its own server. Make all the servers a faster experience server. Who's going to benefit from that, right? The new people, which is what you're trying to market to, and your existing people, which now it's easier for them to level an alt, which means it's more enticing for them to level an alt, a la Kaylin.
Yes.
You know, if you give Kaylin bonuses, she'll level an alt. If you don't give her any bonuses, she got one character per game. That's it.
Hey now. Did I not just spend like 7 days? I leveled the character. I have 3 max levels in WoW after 8 almost years.
I just don't like the idea of a fast track server for brand new players and experience buffs in the cash shop for normal players. When it's just as easy for me to make up another email and level some alts. I'm going to have to give this one... Damn it, I got to agree with Brim. I got to give the fast track server a thumbs down. I don't think it's being implemented very well. I think all the servers should just be labeled fast track and have an increased experience because, one, that's what Aion had problems with to begin with, right? It was a grindy game. And they've kind of gotten away with that by putting a lot more quests in there. Now you can really get rid of that stigma by saying, not only do we put in all these quests for you to do instead of grinding, but now we have faster experience, Kaylin. I think that would be the better way. What about you?
Well, the 800-pound bacon-eating, fat, lazy person inside me loves the idea. But the person who sees how awful it is in every game when they do some kind of experience boost and how many just awful, horrible players it breeds, just thinks it's a horrible idea.
Ooh, what do you mean?
I just, you see these people in WoW that do the recruit a friend and zip right through all the way to max level. They get to max level. They have no idea what they're doing.
Well, I mean, you've been playing the game for 7 years now. And
Going on 8, yep.
You still don't know what you're doing.
Hey, now.
All right, I kid. And you kind of know what you're doing.
Kind of, yes.
Kind of, every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Or maybe I'm way off, and maybe, Brim, you can shed some light on this. Maybe they shouldn't do this at all.
No, I don't believe they should. But if they're going to, I don't know, give just a permanent 5% experience buff on everything.
I forget what game I was playing where I think it was... I can't remember it. I can't remember the name of it, where I was walking around and realized that I had a 300% experience buff on. Yeah, out of nowhere, it was just, here you go, for the next 6 days, everybody's going to get this. And it just, that kind of thing always struck me as, if you realize that there's enough of an opportunity in your leveling system to introduce a 300% XP boost for a week, and not think that it impacts the continuity of your game at all, perhaps you should have examined the way you've level designed this game.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what game that was. I think that was... It wasn't Maestia. It'll come to me later. Yeah, so what else? Dimensional vortexes, new dimensions, objectives, new way to raid in PvP. Sounds a lot like Rift. Anniversary activities and exclusive offers. Obviously, your 3rd birthday, you're going to get some goodies there. New housing options and community features, higher level cap, new Legion quests, new mounts, new arenas, a special mystery surprise only for Aion Ascension fans at the end of the celebration. So it sounds like they've got quite a bit going on in just what's, most companies would deem a normal content patch.
Oh, definitely. That's a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an expansion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see what's going on with the Fast Track server. I haven't yet. The 3.5 patch is available for download. It only went up a couple days ago. I just haven't gotten a chance to jump in yet. I'll check it out and give you an update on next show if you guys want to come and play some Aion with me. There you go. But in general, I give the whole patch a thumbs up. But that Fast Track server thing, I'm gonna have to agree with Brim. I don't think you should do it, and if you're going to do it, you should just put it across all servers.
Wrap some bacon, pork. And
Right? What you do is you take your pork, you put a little Fast Track server on the top. You spread it off evenly there. Then you wrap that bad boy in bacon. You staple a couple of hot dogs to it.
Bacon.
I guarantee. Boy, I dated myself there, didn't I?
It's okay.
Like 1/10 of the audience will know what that was from. I guarantee. Yeah, so check it out, Aion Online. So let's move over. Last topic today. It's not about a game in particular. I have a question for you guys. The three of us have been in the same guild for just about every MMO we've ever, given a try to or played for long periods of time. We've always just kind of stuck together, this core of us, and hopped from game to game to game. I was looking over DK Online. That's an upcoming game from Area Games. And if you go and check out their site, you can sign up for the beta and everything. And when you go to the site, you're going to say, okay, well, it looks pretty run-of-the-mill. There's a couple classes, a couple races. I get some PvP, I get some questing, I get some PvE, and stuff like that. But there's one thing in particular, and I'm not claiming that DK Online is the only game to do this. I know other games, like Terra have done this type of stuff, and numerous games before Terra have implemented like PvP castle sieges where guilds register to do things together, and they can take over areas and change tax rates. That's a big thing in Terra. So got me to thinking, and I want to ask your two opinion on here, and I'm going to shut up, let you guys take this one. How important is a guild anymore in a game? And let me preface that by saying, back when we all had first met, we were in a guild because we were all like-minded. We all wanted to go do PvP. We all wanted to go do raids, and we wanted to work with the same people, or get enough people geared in one place to be able to do it. And that made sense, back in WoW Burning Crusade and even older games, jumping into the original EverQuest. That mentality of build a guild of like-minded people made sense. But now, just about every game has some type of cross-realm queuing for PvP, queuing for PvE, even raid content, you're seeing that ability. So if DK Online is building something very specific to, you need to be in a guild to do this. But if a game doesn't build in a mechanic like that, is there a point to guilds anymore? I mean, isn't your friends list now just doing the same thing where you can chat with your friends, invite them to your party, and instantly queue for something? Is it, without a core mechanic, are guilds important anymore? What do you think, Kaylin?
Not really. The only thing I can see a guild being good for is more the social aspect at this point.
Did we lose Kaylin?
I don't know. Did we lose me?
No, we didn't lose you.
I'm like, I
wasn't
talking.
ready for your sentence to end like that.
No, I was thinking. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
I can't think and speak.
I mean, is it just a social thing anymore? In most games. Now, obviously, DK Online's got a little mechanic there. Terra's got a little guild mechanic where you got to join up and do these things. But, in most MMORPGs, is the guild really as important as it was 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 13 years ago, if you're EverQuest?
Not at all. I think guilds are honestly almost obsolete, I'd say, at this point.
Oh. What about you, Brim?
I don't know about obsolete, but I do have to agree that it's very social. I will not join a guild unless I know somebody in it.
I mean, that's the way it generally works, right? I mean, we all joined our first guild probably on a whim because we didn't know what the hell a guild was.
They were offering like 1 gold, and wow.
And you were like, man, these quests are giving me 3 copper. I will take that gold. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're nearly as important. I do think they still serve a function. And bear with me here. So I'm going to disagree with both of you, but only slightly. I think guilds serve that accountability function, right? Like you don't have a boss. You have a guild leader and everything. You have your officers and stuff, and they can go fly a kite. I'm sure everybody in each of their guilds has a list of officers that they think shouldn't be officers. That type of thing happens. A few names come to mind right now.
You're horrible. Wow. You're an awful human being.
What? I didn't say anything. Anyway, I'm not an officer in our guild, nor do I want to be.
Nor am I.
Nobody on this line is.
Nobody on the show is.
Nobody on the show is. But I think there's a certain accountability aspect that I think a guild still instills. It's easy that when you have these queuing abilities to just not care, right? And we see that whenever you queue for anything in any MMO, where the language even becomes different. The way people type becomes a lot more aggressive in most cases. And I think the guild still maintains that you're expected X level of performance. You're expected to participate this type of way. And if you can't, fine, but you can't participate with us. You can come and hang out and chat, but you're not going to be doing anything with us. And so I still think that there's that certain MMO segment, and we're all part of this, I think, definitely, that thrives off of that I did well for these people that I go with all the time, and they appreciate that. Or I didn't do well, and somebody's going to bust my chops about it. I got to do better. And I don't think you can see that any other way. I think guilds are that core push for progression where, yeah, you can queue in most games, but you're not going to get that same forward success that you do with guilds. Or am I nuts?
No, I think you've raised a
Stunned
very
them to
valid
silence.
point. Yes, I know. Speechless.
Okay, so what were you saying? Yes, no?
I think it's definitely a very, very valid perspective that I didn't think of at first.
See, that's why they pay me the big bucks.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the big bucks. Brim, am I nuts?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, fair enough.
But I do see where you're coming from, and I would have to agree with that. I would have to say that there are people out there that just use a guild, and there are guilds out there just for this reason, to have, buffs or whatever it is that they get now.
Right.
But then there are those other guilds where they're like, hey, you need to be here every week. If you're not, we're giving your spot away. And there's a sense of accomplishment if you do some things with, the same group of people every week.
Yeah, but also look at it this way. Would the three of us and some of the other free-to-play hosts, free-to-play cast hosts, would the three of us be as close as we are, and some of us have never met, if we weren't in a guild together? We just, we knew each other in-game, and occasionally we went and did things together. But if we weren't in a guild, do you think, the free-to-play cast hosts would be as close as they are? Is that another just offshoot of what happens when you're in a guild? You form those offline relationships too?
Are we still in the free-to-play cast in this alternate universe?
Yes, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Okay, if we are still in the free-to-play cast, I don't know, we might still be as close as we are. But if we knew each other in-game and we weren't in a guild, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, we all pretty much have a bead on what's going on in each other's lives, real life, too.
That's true.
So it's I think there's still a place for them. I'm going to have to disagree with you two. I think there's still a place for them. I think the need and the purpose of them has just changed. So I'd be interested in seeing what some of the viewers think. Is a guild even important to you anymore? I mean, I know there's some people that just don't join guilds anymore, period. They just roll by themselves and party up with their buddies or strangers, and that's fine too. Let us know what you think down below. While you're there, come on over to the site, mmobomb.com. Check out all the other great content there, any giveaways that we're running, beta keys and free packages. Check it all out on the site, as well as all the other great content we got there. Let's slide over and do the weekly bombs. Brim, you're up first, my friend.
Oh, you had to make me go first. All right.
I heard the click of your mouse.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, I have a bomb.
Oh, okay. So what really grinds your gears?
Well,
Family Guy reference for our friends out there.
Yep. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. It's an A bomb for EA Games. But kudos to whoever discovered this little, I guess you could call it glitch.
I think you're just giving it an A-bomb because you didn't get to take advantage of it.
That's true. Know. That's true.
So
all right.
What happened?
EA, our good old buddies over at EA, they sent out this, well, I don't know if they sent it out, but you had a coupon at the Origin store.
A coupon.
A coupon. Some coops. To where you could get, one free game.
This show's a train wreck.
So instead of getting one game like it was intended to, you could get an infinite number of games for free due to a glitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is out of Forbes magazine, right?
It is.
Let's see. And they're saying they gave out a $20 coupon off of an infinite number of games, and there's a picture of somebody purchasing 4 different bundles that are below $20 and getting them all for free.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Now, this wasn't intentional.
No, their goal was, to build their player base by, handing out this coupon and you downloading one of their games or whatever, buying one of their games and doing it that way. Well, there was a loophole that was discovered that you could just continuously enter this code.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And you could just keep getting games. Unfortunately, the code is no longer valid.
Oh, imagine that.
So, what was the word they used? They didn't give a exact number on how many games were downloaded or this coupon was used for. They said thousands, or in other words, a rather large haul. Or buttload, if you will.
I could just see people spreading this news on Facebook and stuff, and they're getting their pitchforks. Down with EA! Let's go get their digital software.
You could just see someone in the financial department of EA going oh, what is going on?
oh shit! I'm unemployed.
Quick, turn it off.
Yeah, Origin.com 404 error. That was quick.
Shut the site down. We'll deal with it later.
Yeah, where's the plug? It's funny because it's EA. Yeah, I think that's a good point though, Brim. It's funny because it's EA, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are always wanting to get over on EA because most of the player base feels like EA is trying to get over on them all the time.
Right.
And then we turn around and gamers end up giving $5 million to small indie developers $3 at a time because it's okay to support them. They're doing what the gamers want. EA, not so much.
Well, congratulations to the thousands that got the promotion code and took advantage of that.
Hell yeah! If you got a free game, put it in the comments. Let us know what you let us know what you walked away with, because I missed this.
Yep.
I miss this because I don't use Origin, but yeah, let us know what you got. Caitlin, you're up.
Oh man, no. I'm gonna go ahead and give a dub.
Oh, you're kind of happy this week.
I am, but I'm gonna reserve the right to change my vote at a later date.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I'm gonna give a dub to Xbox 360 for finally joining the free-to-play market with Happy Wars. I was looking very forward to trying this game though Friday, and a little bit of issues, you know, a little bit of invisibility in the shop. Couldn't get it.
It's available where?
You know, and there was like this workaround to go to this forum, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. So I haven't had time to actually check it out, but I am reserving the right to change my vote when I get a chance to actually play it and not just watch gameplay footage and read about how cool it is.
Have you been able to find it, or is it still
missing
in action?
No, they fixed it pretty quickly, but I'm not a very patient person. I'd already moved on to dailies or something.
I hate that it's to the point now where I like actually have to schedule time into my my daily schedule to do dailies. There's that many of the damn things. Ugh. Anyway, I have an A-bomb too. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Brim, it's your favorite game.
Ugh.
League of Legends.
Oh, even just the name.
I'm giving them an A-bomb. The World Champions Tournament. Lots of money on the line. League of Legends pro teams from around the world competing for millions of dollars. Very exciting. Should have been super fun to watch. Some teams have been caught cheating, guys. They've been looking at other players' mini-maps. And then communicating to their team what the other team's doing. And we've also heard in the past some teams kind of working together on tournaments to decide you take first, we'll take second, and we'll just split the total winnings. All kinds of fun things, right? Mm-hmm. So Riot Games even fined Azubu Frost from Korea 20% of their winnings. As of the time of the fine, it was about a $30,000 fine. And they took the money and gave it to a Korean charity, which is great. You know, kudos to Riot for finding, you know, here's where we should put the money and doing it. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, I've got to blame Riot, and you guys might disagree with me here, and that's fine because you're both screwy. But Riot is totally to blame, in my opinion, here, not the players. And you might say, but Magic, man, cheating is never right. It's never right. Yeah, you're right, it's never right. But there are millions of dollars on the line. And it's easy for all of us to sit here and say, well, I would never cheat, right?
Oh, I'd cheat for $1 million. I don't know
why. It's not cheating if the game lets you do it.
It's just like it's not cheating if there's
if it's not
bacon-wrapped pork as on the winner's podium.
If it's not an offense, it's going to land me in handcuffs. For $1 million?
You'll look at somebody else's monitor or look at the overhead displays.
And I'm telling you, anyone who says differently is a liar.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to sit here and say, you know, for $2 million, I wouldn't do it. You know, it's all about integrity. But $2 million on the line changes people. I'm sorry. And spur of the moment, you might do what you think you wouldn't do. Now, here's why I give this A-bomb to Riot, though. The sightline problems to monitors and to overhead displays was flat out dumb. If you saw the setup, there were even some instances where two opposing players were sitting right next to each other. It was just ridiculous setup. Multiple players during the tournament were pointing out to officials, you could see the monitors from here, you can see the overheads from here. We're able to see these things. and Riot changed nothing. They didn't do anything. And so I just want to say, say all you want about just because it's there doesn't mean that they should have cheated. But again, millions on the line changes people, and kudos for Riot to investigating and figuring out that Azubu Frost did benefit strategically from one of their players looking at somebody else's monitor and laying down a fine. But I don't think the fine does anything in this particular circumstance. Right? Shouldn't this have been an instant disqualification? You're done?
Yeah. Anytime you're caught cheating is
right.
An automatic disqualification.
Right. DQ, goodbye, see you next year.
Mm-hmm.
Not, we're going to take $30,000 from you and let you keep another $90,000. I don't know. Yeah, so A-bomb to Riot, the way the World Champion tournament has played out this year. So let's go to the member bombs. I want to get to one that I didn't send on the show notes because it came in a little late. I got a very, very nice email from a new viewer, Alden Moore, this week. And it was just after I sent the show notes out to you guys. And I'm going to read you a piece of this because Alden took the time to write a very, very, very nice email explaining a lot of points about different things we talked about last episode. In particular, Kaylin, City of Heroes.
Oh, yes.
And we asked viewers, what are you going to do if you're a City of Heroes player? What MMO are you going to jump to next? And how do you feel? Because we kind of felt that the whole NCSoft reply was, a middle finger to gamers. It was like a little one-paragraph, go away, we're not selling it type thing. Alden had this to say. Hello all, episode 42 was my first time hearing your cast, and it surely won't be my last. I enjoyed the topics, the opinions, and the humor. The topic that brought me was Call of H being, or Call of H, what the, I see CO and I'm all of a sudden like Call of. City of Heroes being shut down. That was my mistake, not Alden's. I've played and enjoyed that game for years, and will until the end. I had just introduced my neighbor's 12-year-old son to COH because he couldn't afford to play or to pay WoW subscription, and he was loving COH. Like many of us oldsters, he saw how flexible the character creation system was, and spent hours just making up and trying out heroes before he moved on to some serious adventuring. This was a 12-year-old who's only read a handful of comic books in his entire life because of the rising costs. I'm sure I don't need to tell you how disappointed he was after I had to tell him that he only had until November 30th to have fun with it. I'm going to try to get him to try a few other free-to-play MMOs, but he seems like he might be hesitant because he's worried he'll get into a different game only to have that get disappeared on him too. I agree with magicman and Domina, who said that they felt that the paragraph from NCSoft was a middle finger, so they get an A-bomb for the treatment of the community at City of Heroes as a whole, and a firm conviction on my part that they'll never have me as a subscriber for any kind in the future, free to play or otherwise. And Alden goes on to make a few great points about an upcoming game, Star Citizen Squadron 42, where you can check that out at robertsspaceindustries.com/star-citizen. If you aren't following that one and you're a space junkie, you really need to. And there's some other people that have brought it up on the site as well. There's a campaign to raise money for it. Good shout out, Alden. If you're not aware of that game, you might want to check it out. There's a few names you may know. But appreciate the email, and I don't think we really could have said it any better for some City of Heroes fans, right?
Nope.
No, that was great.
That pretty much tugs at the heartstrings. It was a very touching email.
Mm-hmm.
I feel for the 12-year-old.
I feel for him too, but you know what? It's a lesson he was going to learn one day or another. They all just... I feel very bad for him because it made me sad.
Wow.
And I haven't played City of Heroes in...
Wow.
Well, when it's... No, I'm just...
Wow.
Saying, you twist everything I say.
You heartless bitch.
I'm not being heartless. You wouldn't even... Like, I'm sad about the game.
He's 12. He should know by now the world sucks.
Yeah, come on.
It's like Somebody just stole Tiny Tim's crutch.
Right. And Kaylin's like, well, it was bound to happen.
No, I am not.
The kid's walking around slow with it. Somebody was eventually going to catch him.
Horrible.
I'm sorry, what was the point you were trying to make before you revealed what an awful human being you are?
The point I was joking at, first of all, God.
He's so bitter.
No, I agree with the kid. It's it seems like every game you really like some of these games, like, wow, God, when that's gone, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just don't know. It's you involve so much, a lot of these games, so much of your time, and you make, friends, and just, it's, when they're gone, it's it's hard. I don't know.
Well, Alden, I feel for you. I feel for City of Heroes longtime players that are still playing. I feel for your 12-year-old friend. Kaylin doesn't.
I do.
Get a job.
I know, God. That is, I'm sad, and I'm a grown adult. No, my point was, it upset me, and right. I haven't even played in years.
I hear you. I hear you.
I
know you're not heartless. You don't have to. I was just joking. I didn't mean to bring up a touchy subject. I apologize to you.
I am heartless.
Because
I need to just. I just need to surrender myself. I'm an 800-pound man who eats bacon all the time. No heart. Lord. Alter ego now, guys.
I'm crying.
My alter ego is gonna make a Twitter.
What a mess this show is. Mikey Six Gun says, great show, guys. Been watching for a while, never really gotten into the community, but it's a great community, and you guys never bash someone on their opinion, so I will give mine. I give a dub-bomb to SWOTOR for the free-to-play model. They did a smart move giving access to 95% of the game. You get the story and limitations on everything else but raids. I think this will allow for more people to play a great game and not be limited to the point of the game being boring. Also, it's not pay to win. I think we've expressed kind of similar thoughts on that one, right, Brim? That you know, if you wanted the story, this is the best model for you.
Yes, absolutely.
If you want raids, it sucks for you.
Yep.
You can't even get in unless you're going to pay. I don't know about it being pay to win, Mikey. Let's kind of wait on that one because we really haven't seen some of the cash shop items themselves. I agreed with you 100% up until that point, and you may be right. It may not be pay to win, but I'm going to hang on and wait on that a minute. But everything else, yeah, I agree. If you wanted to play it for story and have Knights of the Old Republic 3, this is the best free-to-play model for you. It's a well-deserved bomb if that's what you're playing for.
Well, if you have to pay to get into raids, wouldn't that be pay to win?
Not if you're not a raider.
Okay.
For you, yes.
If you have no interest in the raids, then no.
Right. Yeah,
but
I guess.
Can you do any PvP? Wasn't it limited?
You're limited by the number of matches you can participate in per week. You're also limited by the number of flashpoints you can run per week, and you can't access operations at all.
Okay.
But at least that's something you know out front. It's like if you want to be a raider, then this isn't the game for you unless you want to pay, right?
Right.
If you want to play because you've heard everything about the story, or you started playing and you quit, hell, go back and finish your story now when it starts free to play sometime in November.
That's what you're gonna do.
No, I'm not even going back. Interesting that you made me say that, though. We'll get to the question of the week, which might have a little something to do with that.
Moving on.
I uninstalled it the other day.
Did you?
I did.
MJ Bird says A-Bomb and Dub-Bomb both for Star Trek Online. Season 6 is great with star bases and building it with your fleet. A-Bomb for some of the projects and how much items and fleet credits and dilithium you need. They make it where you have to go out and spend all the time grinding. Enjoy the grind. Philman21, I have an A-Bomb to NCSoft for closing COH, and I moved to DC Universe Online, which is Dub-Bomb to replace COH. That's kind of where I saw most people going too, Kaylin.
Yeah.
And it's the next logical step if you've got to drop out of COH to go take a look at DCUO if you haven't played it before. I've got my own problems with DCUO and the way they handle some of the ability to use your own damn in-game money. But, yeah, it's a logical step.
Bitter much?
Yeah. Yeah, bitter. Mosnick says, greetings. Dub-Bomb goes to MMO Bomb for always keeping up the good work and the great commentary. Keep up the good work. I have a question. What do you guys think of the new MMOs? Lately, I've seen a lot of MMO gamers that tries to badmouth or either flame a new game that tries to come up with a new mechanic, and that's truly disheartening to how the game community has become. So, do you think that the nowadays MMO gamers are impatient or don't want to try a new mechanic, or am I just spouting gibberish here? What do you think, Brim?
Mosnick raises a very valid question. I would have to say that the community has gotten very, I guess, lazy, where they really don't want to try new mechanics. They're used to what they've done in the past, and, you know, everything gets labeled that, you know, WoW clone or whatever clone. And nobody wants to just give that game its fair chance.
What do you think, Kaylin?
I have to agree because I am so guilty of that. There's the few games that I've come across that I've really liked, I compare everything to that game, every mechanic to that game's mechanics, and I'm a creature of habit and I'm very stubborn.
I definitely think that most MMO gamers nowadays are a bit impatient. Myself included. I mean, I'm not throwing myself out of that equation. I'm an MMO gamer, and from time to time I'm impatient. And we talked about this quite a bit. Remember, Brim, when we talked about the Secret World, and would Funcom's issues with Age of Conan and the Secret World kind of make other developers say, well, there's the reason we're not trying anything new, because they tried something new twice and aren't doing well either time.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of column A and B. Yes, MMO gamers are impatient, Mosnick, you're definitely right. I think we want new mechanics, but we also want them to work and feel like they belong in the game that we're doing. We don't want a new mechanic just for the sake of new mechanic, right?
Well, you want it to work, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. but it's got to feel organic to the game. It can't... I hate to use this example, but World of Warcraft and other games that have daily type quests, right? The first time you do a daily that has a different little spice mechanic in it, Kaylin, you're like, oh, that's new. But then you quickly remember, it's just a daily, you know. It's nothing new. It's just a different spin on a daily. The same thing I've been doing for 8 years now. And we want a new mechanic, but we want it to be organic and part of the game and to work, not just shoehorned in there for the sake of being a new mechanic.
Right.
Kaylin, I think, left. She's having some...
I'm still here. I'm giving some thought to what you say, so I don't make a bigger ass of myself the rest of the show, okay? Thinking before I speak.
Like in the PvP world, I swear to God, if I see another Capture the Flag game, I might just blow my brains out.
Yeah, but now it's to the point, though, now that everybody comes to expect that. And if you don't put it in, God help you if your other versions of PvP suck, because then everybody's going to say, you suck, and you didn't include capture the flag? What's wrong with you?
Well, then it goes back to new mechanics, or are people just lazy?
Yeah, I think we're impatient, and developers are less likely right now to try new things, seeing how some new things haven't really gone all that well. Good question, Mosnick.
Yeah, excellent.
Before we get to the viewers' replies last week, Brim, you have a Derp of the Week this week?
I do, actually. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, all right. What's up?
All right. I'm going to apologize right off the bat. There is a huge language barrier here.
Okay.
I already know I'm going to pronounce the name wrong. Jashwant, who is in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, he's a longtime listener of the Free to Play Cast. He replies on the MMO Bomb site all the time.
He or she? He.
He.
Okay, he. Okay, that takes out the next question. So he's got a Derp of the Week. And again, I'm going to screw this up so bad, not just because of the language barrier, but because I don't play League of Legends that much. But he was playing on the C server. He started a game with a new champion, Kha'Zix.
Okay.
And he went jungle lane?
Yep.
Okay. Apparently there was some confusion with a bush, and the other person was just dominating him. Like, he said his score was 0-20 to 5.
Wow.
And in his anger, he smashed the wall and broke his middle finger.
Oh no.
Man, you lost and you can't flick them off.
And he said he can now not play League of Legends for at least a week or so.
Wow. Brutal.
Yeah, so I feel for you as far as the nerd rage goes, but, you know, we got to remember to try to keep it under control.
Right. How'd you like to be sitting there watching him play? Yeah, like what do you say when your best bud just does that?
Like
first you gotta hope that they don't hit you, right?
Yeah.
Then when they hit the wall, you're just like, wow.
What is that? First you got to get that like, oh my god, that just happened. Then you got to laugh because he broke his finger. Then you got to take him to the emergency room.
Last week we asked viewers if you could make your own PvP weapon, kind of like the guns in Loadout. What would your weapon do? Frelm says it's a Gauss minigun with bayonets on each barrel. Good for mowing down targets at medium-long range and also making hamburger meat of close targets. And Frelm's also had a weekly bomb to Wargaming for World of Tanks 0.8.0 patch. Great new stuff to an already fun and extremely addicting game. What was that next one there, Caitlin?
Oh, let's see, a Willy Wolfman says, question of the week, a laser rifle with a flail on it that melts people, along with a gigantic Swiss Army knife attachment for any purpose.
I like that. I like that. I mean, you got the toothpick there in case you got to hold that bacon on the pork.
I don't even want to talk to you right now. I'm just going to hang up.
An Equalist says, my ultimate weapon for loadout, grenade launcher that fires lolcats with rockets instead of claws, and when they come near enemy, they fire out bacon in color of a rainbow, which charges that enemy with
Can't even finish it.
Charges that enemy with so much energy that he shoots out into space, leaving a trail of this words, adventure time. Wow. I think an Equalist might have been under some LSD for a little while answering the question of the week.
Ate some bad bacon.
Oh, the Reneged says a squid gun. That was an easy one. I kind of like that idea too. And Joshy97 says an auto shotgun that fires flaming bullets. O.P. Question of the week this week, gang. If you did used to sub to Star Wars The Old Republic, will you be playing it again after it goes free to play? Leave your comments down below. Come on over to the site, mmobomb.com. Check out everything there. Listen to us on iTunes. Give us a little review. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you click like and click subscribe. Until next week, guys, let's throw it around for the final word. Brim, you're up.
Guys, excellent show, if that's what you want to call it. Check me out on the Twitter at BRIMTTIN. That's Brimton. Send me your derps. Check out what games I'm playing. See you next week.
Kaylin.
Oh, this show has been horrible. I am never
epic
eating.
Show is epic.
I am never telling you kids what I eat again.
Sounded delicious.
It really was delicious. I'm telling you guys, wrap a pork chop and some bacon, fry it up. You don't, if you live past tomorrow, good meal. Hey, I balanced it out with some carrots. We're good. But yeah, great show.
Carrots were deep fried.
No, they were covered in brown sugar. Oh my God. I'm a fatty.
Awful.
It's okay. On the inside. Now I might just have to show my face on the live show so you people...
Yeah, just so everybody knows that you're not
knows I have one
big
chin. I
girl.
promise I have one chin. Oh, Lord.
Where can everybody follow you?
I don't know if I want them to anymore. For some great pork-related recipe ideas, you can find me on Twitter at Kaylin2. It's KAHLYN and the number 2. Swear to God, I'm going to make another bacon rag pork chop, and I'm putting a picture on Twitter, so you better follow me.
Oh.
I've been up for 36 hours.
For Brimton and Kaylin, it's been a hell of an hour. I hope you had as much fun as we did. You can follow me on Twitter at magicman1. That's MAGICKMANN, the number 1. Or you can email me at magicman@mmobomb.com. Until next week, gang. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.
I have been up since 8
Dear
o'clock.
Lord.
I'm kind of high right now.
Follow Steph on Twitter so you can get her bacon recipes.